Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Water Cooler. I am Sarah from Texas, and this is our place to chat all the latest reality TV, celebrity news, Jeff Lewis Live. Welcome, everybody. Thank you, Lisa in Kentucky. Welcome, Michelle, for letting everybody remember to hit the like button. So I'm a little bit confused because I just checked a couple of DMs and I don't know when they came. I just go to the very bottom of the DMs and I just start from the bottom when I try to look at DMs. So I don't know when they were sent. I didn't look last night, yesterday, this morning, something. And several were like asking me about Andrew Coleman. Like, did something happen to him? And I'm like, I don't know. And then another DM, and then another DM, and then telling me to look at at his Instagram, that it's all the posts have been zeroed out. Like, not the account's not been deleted, but he went private a long time ago. Maybe it was always private. No, I think he was always private. I can't remember. Anyways, and I followed him, but I think I might have unfollowed him. Let me see if he's following me, because now it just says, anyways, I sent him a text and said, is everything okay? I don't know. It doesn't show that he's following me, and he always did. So anyways, I have no idea what's going on. The last text I got from him was August 8th. It was literally, it said, miss you, hanging in. August 8th, 10:10 p.m. Texas time. But that was the night of the Phoenix Jeff Lewis live show. I texted back, 45 minutes later, said, adore you. I'm literally in Phoenix at the Jeff Lewis live show. And then I've checked on him a couple of times since then, August 15th, October 4th. And of course, today I texted him. So I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I do hope he's okay. I guess the story that y'all were trying to send to me is already expired. So you couldn't, I would not text Jeff, and I don't even want to text Doug. And I text Doug way more often than text back and forth with Doug way more often than me and Jeff. I feel like if Jeff didn't say anything about it on the radio, maybe I don't even know what made people notice. Like, what was the story that was up, or how did people notice that his thing went to zero? Because he doesn't post a lot. I mean, trust me. Anyway, so I'm a little bit, the last time I saw him, I had the pleasure of meeting him quite a few times, a couple of times, hanging out with him, and then talking to him on the phone, texting back and forth with him. And, sorry, I'm so worried, to be honest with you. Anyways, the last time I saw him was the December of last year, so 11 months ago, at the season 2 Hollywood Housewife premiere party, and he looked spectacular. So anyways, Andrew Coleman, who was on Flipping Out, and then he's been on the radio show. He was also doing work a lot. He was the project manager, whatever you want to call it, for Anthony Anderson's house on Hollywood Housewife both seasons, and obviously there was a ton of work there. He was on radio, the Jeff Lewis live show, quite a few times. Anyways, little worried for him. It's like, I want to get a text and tell me everything's okay, and then I also don't want to get a text from like his husband or somebody. His daughter's only like 8, like Monroe's age. Okay. Let's get into it. Don't forget, tomorrow I will not be going live. There won't be a replay. I will be somewhere that I won't be able to listen to the show. So if I were to go live, it would be I don't even know what time I'm going to get home, but I've got dinner plans. I've got a short window. I wouldn't be able to go live, but it wouldn't be about Jeff Lewis Live because I won't be able to listen to it until later this weekend or whenever I get a chance. But no worries. I'll be at something fun with some friends. So it'll be all good. But sometimes the schedule just doesn't allow. But tomorrow morning I will be live, and I posted it in the Facebook group. I posted it on my Instagram, and I reposted it on my YouTube channel that Dana Wilkie is asking me to go live with her tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, which is 1 hour, New York City time, 9:30 a.m. We will go live for about 45 minutes, discuss a bunch of stuff, but I definitely want to hear the update on whatever's going on with her, knowing supposedly who was behind the Alibaba drama with Whitney Rose on Salt Lake City. Obviously on Salt Lake City I'm sorry, on Watch What Happens Live last night. I think it was the after show, but now I'm getting it confused. Somebody asked what the latest was, and basically Whitney Rose said that Up and Adam has basically done a 180 and said he didn't say he exactly told her that it was Lisa. And she's saying, yes, you did. I mean, it's on video. It's on the show a week or two ago. But she also said, look, I'm very good friends with his husband, Jason. I know him from the Utah community, Mormon life, all that kind of stuff. So anyways, I have no idea what's going on there, but so we'll chat that. We'll chat tonight is the OC part 1 of the reunion. So we will definitely chat that and anything else. When we're live, there's comments. So obviously y'all can ask comments, or it will go up. I don't know if I'll be able to put it on my YouTube, but it will definitely be on hers at Dana Wilkie. Let me see. I did post the details and the things. So if you hit on mine, if you hit the notify me button, it will go to hers. Let me figure out. I don't know how to do it real quick. Anyways, Dana Wilkie's email, YouTube channel. Sorry, I'm a little bit upset about Andrew Coleman and just the bad thoughts of if anything bad happened. Deca Dish Dana, DECA. Anyway, so that's her YouTube channel. Okay. Salt Lake City last night, season 5, episode 8. Why are Bronwyn and Todd having the people from the show at their 10-year anniversary for a weekend? It's one thing, a dinner, and maybe you combine your family and friends and you have the show there, but to go and spend a weekend, to take a private jet, to pay for all of this, he doesn't seem into it at all, as he says later at the end of the show, whenever he pretty much asked John Barlow to get his wife's shit together or they need to leave because he is not going to have his anniversary weekend ruined. Sounds like the man works a lot. He is a big business guy. Bronwyn says he's kind of an asshole, but he's her asshole, and she loved that he was protecting her. But if your wife's going to be on a show like this, and then you're going to host these people at a house for the weekend, I mean, dude, go along with it. Like, coming off as the asshole, it was like it was her dad. Like, she was getting in trouble. You know what I mean? It was just, it was just crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah, it was definitely, sorry, Anthony Andrews. Jeff hasn't had him in or talked about him for ages. I know. And I heard something at one point about that, and I had no idea what the truth was, so I never said anything because even though it was a really good source. Anyways, I don't know what happened. The last time he was on, remember, it was something about he couldn't be in the real studio with Jeff. Like, they were somewhere where the cameras weren't, and so it wasn't on air. It was like at a hotel or something. I don't know what it was. It was something weird, wasn't it? Anyways, I don't know why Anthony, well, besides the fact that, they were on to promote Hollywood House Lift, but I felt like Jeff and Anthony and his best friend really had like a rapport with Jeff. So I felt like they were going to keep coming on the show. Who knows? Anyways, I thought it was weird. I posted last night in the Facebook group that I don't know what a $20,000 a night house looks like. That is not my vision for it though. Like it felt like an Airbnb. I mean, I want a $20,000 a night house to have someone welcome me at the door, like the people they show on other girls' trips. First of all, it wasn't a girls' trip because they invited the husbands. I sort of agree. I mean, she says that she tried to clear things up with Heather Gay. Heather Gay is not with anyone, or at least that we know of on the show. Brittany had just broken up with her on again, off again best friend, Jared, whatever that is. So I kind of think, if anything, she should have said, look, this is an anniversary party. We're having couples. I don't want y'all to feel awkward or left out. Although if it's two of them together, like they could have bunked up and been friendly together. Again, I just thought it was odd. She's new on the show. Bronwyn is a friend of. Her husband clearly had no interest in all of this BS drama. Like, it's not like it's Justin Rose where he's super into all this crap. You know what I mean? It's crazy. I was loving Bronwyn. So y'all are talking about how much you love Bronwyn. No, it's not their new home. It's not their house. The house has poop all over it. And it's been 2 years and they haven't even decorated or did anything. I'm like, if you've got money to pay for a private jet, to pay $20,000 a night for the home, for a jeweler to privately show you 10 carat or 20 carat, they were 10 carats each, these diamond stud earrings, or this $4 million necklace. I'm sorry, you're not that rich. Like, I don't care if I Google, because trust me, I've learned the hard way. Rachel Leviss, at one point it said she was worth like 12 million or 20 million. I'm like, no, you're not. Bronwyn, I don't know what Bronwyn Newport, what do you call it? Worth? What do you call it? What they're worth? Yeah, net worth. Is that what they call it? Wait, what? Net worth $1 million? Wait, what? Only $1 million. Isn't your net worth like what your house is worth, what your cars are worth, what's in the bank, like artwork? Like, isn't your net worth a lot? 1 million. Girl. Anywho. Okay, that's enough about that. Okay, anyways, I didn't think the house looked amazing. I did see they had a chef, which I think a $20,000 a night place should have a chef. I don't know what I can put my finger on. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't up to date. It wasn't laid out all that fantastic. I felt like there was a sign somewhere that said something that kind of let me know it was an Airbnb-ish. At $20,000 a night, I don't want to be reminded that I'm in an Airbnb. I don't want a sign. It also felt like at the end when John goes to find Lisa and tell her, hey, what's going on? Because, or, get your shit together because, Bronwyn's husband just came over to me and said, y'all need to quit fighting or y'all need to go home. Felt like there was like a sign, like at a doctor's office or like a dentist, like a little sign on. I couldn't read what it said. You know what I mean? Christina says she may not share an account with her husband. I mean, okay, but if you're only worth $1 million, no matter what your husband is worth, I mean, you're not getting 10 carat each diamond earring studs for your 10-year wedding anniversary. I'm just saying, I'm calling BS on all of it. I did not like. I thought the fight was so fake, for one thing. The fact that they're sitting there and acting like, oh, well, let's call Heather and tell her we miss her and we wish she was there. Super inappropriate. Like, the fact that Bronwyn had left the pool to go take a leak, as she said, which I also thought was kind of gross. I'm like, does a $20,000 a night house hostess say I'm going to take a leak? Like, anyways, says her husband is worth a lot, but is he worth 20-carat diamond earring studs for a seemingly small anniversary. I mean, 10 years, give me a break. That's not, brain surgery. I don't know. I just thought it was weird. I thought it was fake. I also saw I never watch it. I don't even know how to do it. I guess it's bravotv.com. I don't know. I just see clips on the internet. But for Vanderpump, remember they were in the Valley too, I think. They would do these things where they have this interview, sort of a little talk show, like 20 minutes of whatever. So I saw where Brittany is there, and Brittany's like, well, nobody called me. Like when I saw it, I was sitting there going, oh, well, I was waiting on someone to call me and say, oh, we miss you. We wish that you were on this trip. And all y'all did was call Heather Gay. Well, the only reason they called Heather Gay is to bring up the drama and to have Bronwyn see it and have there be a story. Because I feel like, I love Ryan Bailey, but for him to say yesterday that Salt Lake City is his show and it's so good and it's so this and so, I don't know. I didn't think any of it was so great. You know what I mean? Yeah. Paprika says, my dad used to say I'm going to take a leak, but he was a dude. It's not even male or female necessarily. It's the fact that she seems so prim and proper and put together and stylish and fancy and $20,000, rentals. And for her to say I went away and took a leak, ew. The whole vibe was off immediately from Lisa and Whitney. We know that they've been fighting. We know that Whitney and Meredith have been fighting. And pretty much, Bronwyn said, look, this is our wedding anniversary weekend trip. You're going to wake up with us. We're going to eat dinner. We're going to sit in a hot tub. We're going to play games. We're going to, eat breakfast together. We're going to wake up with well, they probably took their glam. I wonder if Lisa's glam came. Surely we're going to see that next week, right? So does Lisa's glam have to go home if she and John get kicked out? Anyways, it did seem like Meredith and Seth had marital issues. She definitely wanted to bring up some stuff to him. I think they've had more marital, however long they've been married, 25, 30 years, whatever. I feel like they've been off more than they've been on. They've been open that they've had pauses. They've dated other people. They've gotten together. I just feel like for his career, it's always been out of state. So I feel like, now the two kids are grown. I don't know if they're out of the house or not. It doesn't matter, but it's not the same that you've got a 7 and a 5-year-old. She's got 2 grown adult children, so they can spend a lot more time together. And the fact that Meredith wants to spend time with him, I wouldn't want to spend time with Seth. There's really nothing about him that makes me want to, you know what I mean? John Barlow, maybe, definitely not Justin, definitely not Todd. Who else is there? Is that the only people? Justin, Seth, John. Anyways, ugh, I thought it was weird. So who's right, Lisa or Bronwyn? Should Lisa have called? Did Lisa do her job as a housewife and just because she's the one that wanted to call, but the other people, as soon as the FaceTime came up, was like, oh, hi, we miss you, everything. It sounded like for sure on Watch What Happens Live, Whitney was saying that she shouldn't have called Heather during that thing. But obviously, Bronwyn and Whitney are kind of buddying up on the show because they kind of have a common enemy, right? In Lisa Barlow. So anyways, so weird. Wait, John is a creepy guy? Why do you say that? No more glam. Yeah. And again, I kind of thought that was cheesy too. Southern Belle Cell says, Todd saying that he would pay for them to leave says a lot. You should pay for them to leave, though. I'm sorry. If you invited someone on a weekend trip, now I've never had this where I paid for it. We have been on a weekend trip with 4 families, and one couple left a couple of hours early. We were like, good riddance. But anyway, that family's never been invited back. They kind of invited themselves to our family's vacation that we always do anyway, so none of us were happy. Anywho, if you invite someone and you're paying the expense and it's a faraway trip, like you have to take a flight back, if you ask them to leave, I feel like you should arrange a car. You should arrange flights. Maybe not your private jet because that's not their private jet anyways, you know what I mean? But, uh, where is Seawalk Pavilion, Jack's Beach? I have no idea what y'all are talking about. Yvonne Gelsa, who's John married to? John Barlow is married to Lisa Barlow, the longtime best friend of Meredith, who, remember a season or 2 ago, she's the one with the hot mic moment where she was just going crazy on Meredith and saying, "You effed all of New York City." Now they're all buddy-buddy again, so they were the ones. Lisa Barlow and Meredith were the ones where the show opened last night, and they're at this spa. I mean, they're on this, like, covered pavilion, like, patio, balcony or something. The mountains, the snowy mountains behind them literally looked fake. It was so freaking beautiful. I think it's real. Like, I've been to Park City. I think we've gone twice now. It is beautiful, but to be at a spa and just be hanging out and having, in a robe and having some hot tea and talking gossip, because of course they invited Heather Gay to come, visit and gossip. Oh my gosh. Okay, so at the end, I made a video of this. Bronwyn pretty much admits, look, even if I'm not right, I thought that inviting Lisa on this trip would have bought her loyalty. She literally said that. Like, that's so you lost me at that. Like, she literally okay, here, let me sing. Loyalty because of our friendship. By now, with this trip I'm taking her on. So you think at some point that if I wasn't owed loyalty because of our friendship, I'd probably buy it by now with this trip I'm taking her on. No, you don't buy loyalty. You don't buy friendship. You don't, well, maybe you do. You don't buy your place as a friend on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, but maybe you do. I don't know. It's so weird. Joan Jett is having a free concert. That's so weird. By the way, Cyndi Lauper is coming to Houston, her farewell concert. And I thought about going, but I just kind of forgot and didn't get any, didn't text any girlfriends and to go, because that is definitely my music, not my husband's music. And although he would go to Cyndi Lauper with me, it's definitely not his music at all. And then a friend asked me about a week ago, hey, let's get some people together and go see Cyndi Lauper. Well, we both forgot about it. I haven't bought the tickets. She hasn't bought the tickets. We haven't even asked anyone else. So we'll see a bunch of them tonight. We'll just ask tonight. But a chumpette, shout out, messaged me and said that they will be at the Cyndi Lauper Houston concert. They live in a completely different state. So I've met this person a couple times. So I can't wait to see them and hang out. Yes, I have never been to Cyndi Lauper. And I mean, I was born in 73. So Cyndi Lauper, I love Madonna, Cyndi Lauper, Whitney Houston, Debbie Gibson. I mean, all the I keep touching something. It's literally like a sheet of paper. I know I fixed it. A sheet of paper will touch this button and I can't push this button away. Like it won't go anywhere. It's so weird though. So sorry about that. Yeah, I'm good now. I wish I could read lips. I was just saying that I'm not muted now though, am I? It says there's audio. No, I think it's just delayed. Everything's good now, right? Give me a thumbs up. Can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. It was only off for a second. Anyway, sorry about that. Literally, it's a small button, right? It's a button like that big that says mute, and like it's only happened lately. It's the weirdest thing. Anyways, what I was saying was I wonder if they're gonna update us if Bronwyn gets one of these pieces of jewelry for her 10-year anniversary. And if she does, it's only for the show. Like she'll probably return it. You know what I mean? Like she was definitely saying the name. So it was like, oh, this is my jeweler. Girl. I don't know. I want to like her. I liked her in the beginning, but now it just seems all contrived. I'm sure something's going to come up where she's been on um a few different reality TV shows. We're going to find out. I'm not muted anymore. It's fine. Eh, it's fine. Okay, it's back. What else? I thought Todd was a little overly rude. I mean, I feel like Bronwyn knew exactly what was going to happen this weekend. She knew she was coming into this weekend with some drama. She knew that was going to happen. She is the one that invited acquaintances to her weekend trip for their anniversary. That if he travels a lot, like he had just gotten home from Korea or somewhere, they should have went on this anniversary trip alone together. Like I don't know how much he travels, but if you're gone enough where she's got all these crazy costumes to meet him at the airport like a Looney Tune, then they need to spend a little more time together. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. Effie says, I'd rather have new furniture and new paint for that house and a poop picker upper. Like I've seen dog poopers that pick up out your yard. She needs a housekeeper that's picking up that dog shit like as soon as it happens. Like if Jeff Lewis can afford that, if she can afford 20-carat diamond earrings for her 10-year anniversary present, then she needs to have somebody picking up dog shit from her house because that's disgusting. Like gross. Ugh. Oh, Debbie says, I wonder what his Starbucks cup from Korea looks like. So I didn't even know that was a thing. Apparently, he collects Starbucks cups from like all over the world. So shout out caller Annette. I don't know if you're on, but she is the first person that ever taught me about the intense addiction of Starbucks cups. Do you really have a poop butler? Debbie says. Oh my gosh, I'm dying. Oh goodness. Watch What Happens Live is Whitney Rose and Joy Bryant. Joy had never been on the show before. She's not happy with Up and Adam. Says he's pretty much not telling the truth, and she doesn't understand why he's now saying, "Oh, I didn't tell you it was Lisa," when he absolutely did. I mean, what we saw and heard a week or two ago was where he pretty much said, "Look, I have proof or whatever from an account." Some have Dana Wilkie's name out there. I do not know what's going on. I'm going to get the scoop from her tomorrow when we go live. So if you want to ask a question, get onto the YouTube. But I think Dana has done a deep dive of this and is saying that Lisa is not the one behind it, and that it would prove to Whitney Rose who is behind it. But Lisa's the one that says she has like this technology, attorneys on calls, social media guys, people that can look in. It can't be that hard to figure out who an account is. I mean, if you've got all this money, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. $25 a week. Debbie says, yes, I'm not acting fancy. I have help with all these dogs, and they're only $25 a week. But to clean your poop on the outside, right? Like not on the inside. Like if somebody's cleaning poop from the inside. Lisa says I was the one. How is Mabu doing? How's your husband? As Mabu said. Yeah. Okay, what else? I don't think she gave an update. I still need to finish some of it. Somehow I skipped forward, but I did watch the after show on the YouTube for Watch What Happens Live. I don't think she gave an update, and Justin, her husband, was in the audience, because he's not going to miss an opportunity for some TV time. See, I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed with the house husbands on every show, even like New York, New Jersey, Salt Lake City, um, Miami husbands. Are they even all married though nowadays? Beverly Hills, like all the husbands are getting way too involved. But her daughter, who's like 13ish, was in the hospital for like some asthma something recently, and I don't think they updated us on that. So I'm assuming if she and Justin are like willy-nilly flying from Utah to New York City for an optional, if you ask me, appearance, then I'm assuming their teenage daughter is doing better. I don't know. I'm trying to fix how I keep hitting that button though. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out how I keep hitting that button because it's literally on the computer and I can't figure out if I'm hitting something. It's the weirdest thing. Anyways, okay, sorry. What the hell is going on? I know. I'm trying to figure out if I was hitting the mute button. Yvonne Gal says, I don't believe Whitney at all. Don't believe her in what, though, about the Alibaba thing? Because basically, she's not really defending herself on, for what I thought, she was pussyfooting around, basically, word salad, basically saying, look, I buy products that other companies buy. My price might be, 10 times their price, but it is what it is. Also, they're saying that companies can have the same look of something, and one can be like stainless steel, nickel, whatever. I'm talking jewelry. And then another one can be, 14 karat or gold or whatever. But her stuff's not even gold. Yeah, I don't think I'm hitting it on the mic because I don't even really hit the mic like I always talk. You know what I mean? Yes, the way I see it says, seems Adam recorded the conversation and can prove Whitney is lying. Well, I don't know. I mean, he's now saying he didn't say that Lisa, and I thought an episode or two ago, I thought he pretty much said, look, I've got proof that it's somebody. I'm very cynical. I'm starting to get over it. They're not even, the drama's not even good. It's not, I know, I am cynical. I agree. I don't disagree. I don't disagree with you. Okay, if you want cynical, let's get into Reza and Dr. Donna on Jeff Lewis Live, then MJ and Dr. Donna. Oh my gosh, talk about word salad. I don't know what is going on. See, I'm with you, Michael Riley. What are we going to watch next? Housewives shows are getting so boring. I'm almost out. I feel you. I feel you for sure. Oh, Yvonne Gal saying that he says they pieced two conversations together. Wow, now that's shady. That's shady if they made something look like he said it and he really didn't. Okay, he's saying it was two different conversations that they pieced together. Wow. Okay, that's kind of crappy. But she would have heard the whole conversation. She would have heard the real, she didn't put two conversations together. Who knows? Michael says Whitney is probably lying. Which one are you watching? Lori says, I'm down to one Housewives show. Please tell me it's Beverly Hills. I feel like by the time they make a decision on New Jersey and start filming again or cast or recast or shake it up, whatever they do, I feel like we're all going to lose interest. I mean, I don't know. Whatever's going on with Marge and Dorinda doing this show together, I feel like they're trying to move on and make some money. You know what I mean? If Dorinda ends up having this other show with Bluestone Manor, obviously Teresa's trying to sell some, purses that aren't even hers. I don't even know. Okay. Starts off with Jeff pretty much saying he had hours-long therapy with Dr. Donna last night. Shane left after 2.5 hours. He's like, I'm out. Thanks. I'm out. But he said he's not talking about Stu, but that's his last relationship. I don't know if he's talking about Stu. He never really had, he has more negative to say about Gage after they've broken up than when they were together. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't really talk about that. That was so long ago, though. And he never really talks about Scott. So I'm assuming he's talking about Stu. But he basically says that he owns 50% of being in a bad relationship because basically, if he made the decision to stay and be in something that he feels like he had red flags the first 90 days, which I'm pretty sure they were well broken up a few times in the first 90 days. I mean, they were on pause very soon and very, very, very often in their 20-ish months. I don't even know how long they were doing that dating. I'd have to do the math. D says Jeff is an arse sometimes. He went hard on MJ on the show, and that should have been a private conversation. Well, okay, we'll chat about. Let's get into, because what I have a thing is basically he was like, I think MJ lied. And then 10 minutes later, he was like, I don't need the text from you. I believe you. And I'm like, so you went in 10 minutes, you think she lied, and then you believe her? It was all over the place. I think he was just getting uncomfortable with the conversation. I think he didn't expect her to come to clap back as much as she did. She had a lot of animosity. She did not back down. She had a lot of balls to keep going and just basically saying, look, you don't need to know everything. I explained everything the next day with you. I think what it was, I think Jeff, although it may not seem like it, is a people pleaser. So I think he did feel bad that he couldn't invite all the chumps that wanted to go, because it's an experience of a lifetime for most of them. I mean, some of them aren't filthy rich like Jeff is. But even like Carney said the other day, let someone else go next time. Carney's gone 1 or 2 or 3 times already to these events. She does have the money, I would like to think, to be able to do this. So I don't really know. Oh, wait, what? Mary Kate said, Up and Adam said he and Jason spent a week with Dorinda at Bluestone Manor a couple of weeks ago, but he can't talk about it. Then why would he say it if he can't talk? Oh, that's interesting. So he wants people to know. I don't know. Yvonne Gal says that argument between Jeff and MJ was so uncomfortable, and it just started immediately. Okay, let's get into the Reza show. So Reza has been in therapy since age 18, weekly, every Monday, 11:30 a.m., whatever. I didn't love when his husband Adam called in, or whatever. What were they calling him? Leslie? Uzzy? Some weird name. I don't know if that's a nickname. I have no idea what that was. But I can assume that it was planned. I think that he had the back number, I'm assuming. I just thought it was kind of a waste of time. And Jeff was like, well, why don't you think of the problem? I think I think Reza was trying to stir up a little more airtime or drama, or, going back to Shaw's of Sunset Time, Zeddy. Yeah. Is that a nickname for him? I don't know. And he was, I think Reza thought Zeddy, or Adam, his husband, was going to call in with a problem that he had. And so Jeff was like, well, why don't you think about the problem and then call us back and ask, because, kind of you're wasting time, which I absolutely thought it was a waste of time. So then he comes up with something, and then he says, well, how do you deal with it if I'm working 5 or 7 days a week and I'm married? And I was like, well, isn't that everyone? I mean, I would assume, unless you're just living in money or both retired, at some point in a relationship, especially one that's 13 years, they've been married 9, that one or both work. And that's not exactly was he trying to say that Reza doesn't work? So Reza's bored, or Reza wants more of his time? Like, does Reza not work? Is he a realtor? Is he not? Is he a real estate broker? Is he just trying to get on reality TV again? I don't know. I don't know what Adam does, but he definitely talked about working a lot, and maybe 5 to 7 days a week. And then he got into, which I think they were trying to get him off the phone. And then he was like, well, what happens if your partner doesn't pick up the phone when you call? And I'm like, that's the best you got. Like, that's not what you need to ask a therapist about. That's you tell your husband, pick up the damn phone. Like, I'm calling you, put a special ringtone on. Cause I get it. Not everyone has their phone in their pocket next to you all the time. All you got to do, it's 2024, set up a different ringtone. That way, if you're somewhere, if you hear that song, you know that's my husband calling. I need to pick it up because it's important to him to answer my phone calls. And you could tell it was important to him, or he was making it up. You know what I mean? AUS Fly Girl says, I was surprised that Rez has been in therapy that long. Good for him. Admired it that he shared. However, he's kind of a messed up guy who's very self-involved and selfish, mean at times. Well, I mean, how old's Reza? Mid-50s, maybe? So being in therapy since you were 18 years old, I mean, weekly therapy, not even once a month. Reza Farahan age. He's 51. Okay, so he's exactly my age. But I'm like, you would think, I mean, then it makes me think, okay, with Shaws of Sunset, what is he just faking all of that? Because that didn't look like somebody who's been in therapy once a week. Get a refund? I don't know. Reza is a boring top. Okay, Michael, I don't know who's a top or a bottom or a verse, or maybe there's been breaks. Well, he didn't say that. I mean, it seemed like he meant he goes every week. Like he definitely has some relationship with at least two of the therapists that he shared with us. I do agree with Dr. Donna. Assume people aren't going to change. So if you've been in a relationship and there's things you already know that bother you before you're married, or before you've agreed to move in, or before you're involved in a long-term committed relationship, assume they're never going to change those things. If they do, just pure D bonus. But if it's enough to bother you and you think, oh, or they've said, oh, I'm going to change, I'll move my job, I won't be so close to my mother-in-law, whatever, anything, whatever big finances, I won't spend more than I make, I won't this, I won't that. Assume they're not going to change, and that's probably more like how it's going to be. You know what I mean? Michael, I'm telling you, my darling Sarah, you're telling me he's a top? Oh, okay. Thank you. Someone had to say it. You're hilarious. Debbie Kate says, I like Reza. He just seems a little thirsty to me. I don't know. I guess I like when people are just famous or whatever, and it doesn't seem super thirsty. I don't know. Like even today, he was like, I'm a chump. And I'm like, well, of course you are. You've been on multiple times. But I just, again, I felt like he had Adam call in because they just wanted some time together for that. You know what I mean? And I thought that phone call was a complete waste of time. Natalie says, get to MJ. We are. So, because that's pretty much all I remember from Reza and Dr. Donna. So MJ comes on. Jeff had made a couple of slight comments during the first hour. Is MJ here? She'll probably be here in 45 minutes. Is she here yet? You know, basically kind of alluding to the fact that she doesn't show up on time, or she thinks other jobs are more important, or she's not committed, something. It just kind of had that little what have you. Krista says Reza is overindulged, inherited wealth. Well, not enough that he didn't adjust his lifestyle whenever Shaw's was canceled, because he's spoken over that a lot for sure. Anyways, they get into this drama immediately because Jeff had warned her. I'm sure a million of you chumps had DM'd her. She probably listened to the show, maybe, although she hasn't listened to Sheena Shea. So I haven't listened to what she said yet, what it sounded like at first. So what happened was MJ has long kind of joked and begged and whined about not being invited to certain things. Like one thing she wants from Jeff is a private dinner at BOA for his birthday, and he hasn't done that for her. But she gets invited to the Universal. Only 23 other people were invited, including Jeff. There was 24. So clearly other people wanted to be invited, or Jeff wanted to be able to invite people with their partners. He even says that Justin and Ryan were not invited because they both have partners and he wouldn't want to make them not come. But, things like Shane gets to bring Brogan because Brogan is kind of, he's part of the whole. I mean, Jeff really likes him. He's such a nice guy. He's such a cutie patootie. But, he's way in more the inner circle, right? With Shane. So the story is that an hour or 2 or 3 before, she basically texts Shane and says, look, it doesn't look like I'm going to make it. They kind of didn't think that was super clear. She thinks that was clear. So then it became basically Jeff saying, look, I had so many people. You did not give me enough notice to invite someone else, and so many people wanted to go. He felt bad about it. People were messaging him. Jeff felt guilty for that. And he feels like because it was a limited event, it wasn't like just an open call, anybody could go, and a very expensive, exclusive invite, he felt like she should have given more notice. Her story was super vague, but she was like, look, trust me, this other person listens to the show. They were going through something. I could not give up the story for this person. And he's like, you tell me everything. And she's like, look, I could not. I was assuming it was so serious that she kind of hung out with this person all night, or at least a few hours. It gets a little confusing, and I'll tell you why in a second. Then she goes on the Sheena Shea podcast, Shenanigans. I didn't hear the part about Michael Beck saying that there was a joke about, oh, you were just drinking at Nobu, day drinking. I don't know. I either missed that or didn't hear that. She says because he was joking about that on Shenanigans, she kind of joked, oh, yeah, I was day drinking in Malibu at Nobu. Well, Jeff must have asked her no less than 5 times, were you drinking at Malibu? And she just would not answer the question. Then it became, look, I'm on Ozempic. I can't drink. I don't even get drunk. I don't like the flavor of alcohol anymore. I don't drink like that. I have a child. I don't know. It was weird. It was a lot of attitude that I was kind of surprised at. I mean, from the get-go, they started arguing. But she just, at first, I thought she was saying it was a joke. And then she was saying, I did have a glass of champagne, but I was driving. Like there was nothing about me. What I got confused on is, was it so serious that her friend needed her? She said it's very dramatic, like losing a family member. So whatever it is, super serious. But then she said something like, I was long gone from there. Like that was my morning event. And then I was long gone from there. My evening plans with you, which were supposed to start at 6:30, which is on the earlier side of evening, must have been like, where were the hours between that? If she had plans with the friend at 11, that is the friend she was with that ended up needing her so much. But then she says, I was gone from that. I didn't go home and take a nap. I don't know. Did I miss it? Okay. Tell me whose side you're on. Yvonne Gal says, I like teasing my friends, but I felt like he was really busting her balls today, and I don't really like her. I felt like he was too, and I can't see the video because it won't go up till tonight. But I feel like this is a show to watch the video, because she even said at one point, I can tell by the way you're looking at me that you don't believe me, or something like that. You know what I mean? Delia says, MJ lied. That's Jeff's point. She said Malibu didn't have anything to do with her plans with Jeff later, that she wasn't at Malibu anymore by that time, but texted Shane that she was stuck. She did say she was stuck in Malibu. Yeah. And that's what Jeff is saying, is your story isn't adding up. Like, you keep changing it. How would Sheena know that joke though? So why bring it up to Sheena? I don't know. I didn't hear it at all. Debbie says, I'm glad that MJ stood up for herself, and I love that she threw up his relationships that are so whacked, like with Megan. So I definitely heard that. She brings up and starts naming. Name them. What did he call it? The witch hunt. He was like, the witch hunt you went on with Heather and Megan and Brandy and Julie and your ex-boyfriend. She's like, I always stood beside you and supported you. It was interesting. Oh my gosh, it was interesting for sure. Jane says she's lying, so he was trying to bust her. I think he feels like the story kept changing. I kinda wish, if anything, I wanted the real story because I also felt like that app that she was selling these products on that were Chaz Dean products and things that seemed like it was goodie bag stuff that she had gotten from his chumps. I I felt like she never really explained that. She just kinda giggled it off, you know what I mean? I think in the beginning of today, she even said, like, "Is this a bit? Like, I thought you were joking. I thought y'all were just," and he's like, "No, like, no, this is not a bit." Um, I feel like he probably maybe if somebody he didn't listen to shenanigans, trust me. But I feel like it might be one of those things. I didn't listen to it. I don't know who did. If anyone has the clip of what she said, that'll tell us more, like, was she joking? Was she not? But also, why would you joke about that when Sheena, you're right, has nothing to do with this conversation? She wouldn't know the behind the scenes joke of this. But why would you say that when Jeff clearly was upset with you and was like asking you, look, you didn't give me any notice. Then we go to the Dr. Laura show the next day with these comp tickets. You leave halfway through it. Like, I could have invited someone that could have stayed the whole time. Again, she stood up for herself. It's like, look, I am the connection with those. I am the one that got those tickets for other people. I'm the one that got, um, Liat in. Bev says, I used to love Jeff Lewis, but I canceled when all the mess went down with Heather, followed by the mess with Sarah. I don't think I'm missing anything because Sarah can't even make him interesting when she covers him. You talking about me, Sarah? I have an H on my name. Anyways, I definitely think he's interesting, but I definitely heard from so many people that it's just not the same. They're not listening to him much anymore. If Sirius XM does do ratings, which they have to, right? How can you not know how long somebody's Sirius XM is tuned to channel 102 or what time it's tuned to channel 102 and in what time zone? You know what I mean? Oh, Southern Belle says, you better not lie to a narcissistic sociopath. They will drill you. Trust. Wow. Oh my gosh. Yvonne Gal says, my thing is this with my friends. Just text and say you can't come. Tell me you're okay, and then I'll move on. We have had paid outings before and had people canceled. It's not that deep. I don't know. I think there must be something else that is making Jeff upset about this. And again, I do think part of it is that it was an event that he was already getting backlash from other people, like, oh, I wish I was invited, or I wish I could have, whatever. And now he's like, oh, also, it's the money of it all. Like, he literally had 1 out of 24 people that he paid for and tipped on and weren't there to enjoy it. And these are people that wanted to go. First of all, the the fun with a famous person, Jeff Lewis, but a fancy VIP to host, I mean, it's a lot, you know what I mean? Mama Judy says MJ makes big word salads to try and confuse people and hide her lies. She's a liar. Um yeah, she was really defending herself today, you know what I mean? Um Oh, Dee says, I agree, and I was surprised he was given a 2-hour show and a new contract. Yeah. Oh, Mayboo. Well, I think he would have brought that up, though. Mayboo says, I bet Jeff's heard rumors from someone about what she was really doing. I can't, I mean, I can't lie for anything because I always think, what if this? What if that? But in 2024, I mean, who knows if Jeff even knows the owner or the manager or the security person or the hostess at Nobu and Malibu and could be like, hey, go and see when MJ was there. Go watch how many drinks she had. I mean, I watched Dateline. That's how I know that Karen Reed had 9 alcoholic drinks because they've got her on video of all those By the way, that trial is going to come up soon. Anyways, I was shocked. I was somebody said they were going to go chat on P4. I don't know if they were joking or not. I think they said that on the Facebook group, but I didn't hear that. I listened to the whole show. Basically, they said it's a circular argument. In other words, Dr. Donna was like, look, Jeff is on this side, MJ's on this corner. Neither one of you are listening to each other. It was like, I'm right. And she was like, no, I'm right. It was a lot. But when then she said, he said, no one's even listening. They probably turned off the show. And she was like, no. This is the highest rated show. And Jameson is probably going to put this on like permanent. I don't know what that meant. I don't know if that meant that Jeff Lewis has issues or what. But those issues are the Wednesdays and Fridays shows, right? Which I do not know. Somebody let me know this the other day because there's a lot of y'all. Jeff Lewis has issues that can't pay. Y'all would, and you can't listen to Jeff Lewis live because you don't live in the US or Canada. I think it's available in Mexico too. So the last subscriber early access, November 13th. What the hell does that mean? Todrick, something is going on with his podcast. Jeff Lewis Has Issues. So look, Jeff Lewis Has Issues is the free podcast that's available everywhere. It is his regular Jeff Lewis Live show on audio from Wednesdays and Fridays. It used to be one show, I think the Friday show. Now it's Wednesdays and Fridays for quite a while. Oh, I think it's part of SiriusXM now, which is weird because his contract went into renewal October 21st. This didn't start happening, y'all told me, till like earlier this week. It says here something about ad-free listening to new episodes, early access, $5.99 a month or $44.99 a year after the trial. Then it says try free. So see this right here with the prices? But if it's so I don't think they're going to put it up for free as Jeff Lewis Has Issues. That's interesting. So this one says episodes, Todrick Hall and Joey. Todrick's back after many months away, but it's not going to be on. Oh, it's only 34 minutes, so it's not even the whole hour. 34 minutes, probably no commercials, but that's not even the whole hour, even with commercials. I don't know. It's going to drop. So weird. It says published November 13th, which that's 6 days away, 2024 at 2 a.m. But that's going to be like 2 weeks old information too. See how this one says Lala Kent and well, you can't see it. Lala Kent and Mercedes Encore. So this one was not on, but the Crystal Minkoff and Cynthia Bailey is on. Jonathan Bennett and Jodie Sweetin is there. I have no idea what's going on. I don't know. But see, this is an old one because no, she was on. I have no idea. I don't know. Anyways, I mean, clearly I pay for the SiriusXM, but if you can't, a lot of people, I know somebody's been putting up the fake, it's not fake. It's copyright infringement on YouTube, but I think that gets taken down all the time too. So I'm not really sure. Anyways, at the end, MJ admitted to one glass of champagne, said she drove home. She was fine. It was just weird that she said she was long home from Malibu, but then y'all are reminding me that she texted Shane saying I'm stuck in Malibu. So it was weird. Oh, Claire says it's old. Lala was talking about the Vanderpump reunion. Well, no, the one of them says she comes after giving birth to Sosa. So that was the newest one when she was on. Because remember, he didn't give her, you know what I mean? He hates when he doesn't have the work ethic with his friends, a US Fly Girl says. So at one point earlier in the show, he was like, I think MJ lied. And then soon after, he was like, she was trying to prove. She was like, look, after the show, I will show you the text. It will absolutely prove to you that I was taking care of somebody or helping a friend, whatever. And he's like, I don't need to see the text. I believe you. So I don't know. Debbie says he tends to give more grace to the guys. Just my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. He was just too much for me today. It was a lot. And I felt like I'm such a factual person. I'm like, just show us, just tell us. You know what I mean? Well, yeah, Sherry says, but then that's lying. Sherry says, MJ should have just said, my son isn't feeling well. No questions asked. I don't know. I don't like lying about things like that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't make up lies. If I don't want to go somewhere, I just say I'm not feeling it. But I'm very brutally honest with my friends, which I do feel like going out tonight because even though I cooked a delicious Italian pot roast for my family in the crock pot, well, I had to like prep it and then put it in the crock pot. I am going out to a fun dinner with a bunch of friends tonight. Got a fresh manicure and pedicure. The agenda is to wear sparkles, so I will be sparkled out for anything that fits me because I'm a solid 35 pounds heavier than everything in my closet. I mean, this shirt is like, woo, stretched out, hurting. Anyways, remember, I will not be live tomorrow. I won't be late or anything because I've got a short window where I'll be home, and then I've got dinner plans for something that had to be made up from a few weeks ago. So I will see y'all Monday, same place, same time, 4:00 Eastern. Bye, Chumpettes. Adore you.